Hello students, today we will discuss a chapter manufacturing industries which is in our subject named as geography. Chapter 6 Manufacturing industries. Okay. First of all, we will discuss what is manufacturing industries. Actually, manufacturing industries refers to the production of goods in a large quantity after processing from raw materials into more valuable goods. In this way, these are the things which we obtain from the sources like agricultural sector or minerals which are extracted from the earth's crust. We can say that such minerals or agricultural products should be processed. These raw materials are processed in these industries which are known as manufacturing industries. Simply, these are the machines which process such raw materials into more valuable goods or finished goods. Likewise, production of goods from raw materials into more valuable goods or finished goods is referred as manufacturing. We can say that we can give here one example or various examples. Likewise, sugarcane is a raw material from which we obtain sugar. Iron ore from which we manufacture steel. Wood from which we obtain paper. Now, it is actually the raw materials now from which we obtain more valuable goods and finished goods when they are processed in these machines or industries. Now, there is an important thing which is related to this chapter, that is importance of manufacturing. This was the definition of manufacturing and its examples. Now, importance of manufacturing industries. Okay. Importance of manufacturing industries. We can say that this manufacturing industries sector is a secondary activity. It is a secondary activity so far as economic activities are concerned. This secondary activity is interrelated with the primary activity because it has to get its raw material from the primary sector, likewise agriculture, mining, etc. In this way, it is considered as secondary activity. In this way, what is the first importance of this manufacturing industries? Now, it modernizes the agriculture. It modernized agricultural sector. That is, in ancient times, the agriculture activities were done by the simple tools. In this way, when manufacturing industries or industries were established or constructed, this industrial sector provided new tools and techniques to this agricultural sector. Now, in the form of tractors, harvesters, tillers, threshers, biochemical fertilizers, and etc. etc. In this way, that is why this agriculture sector now become modernized, or a new type of agriculture which was possible when this manufacturing industry sector has supported it. Second importance, it reduces the dependence of people on the agricultural sector. That is, more and more people in ancient times were doing more activities or jobs in agricultural sector because there was no option to do work in other sectors. When more and more industries were constructed in India, means they have one more option to work there in secondary sector. In this way, more and more people in ancient times were doing work in agricultural sector. Now, they are shifted from agricultural sector to the manufacturing sector. In this way, people in the agricultural sector are not working there because they were less benefited. When they migrate from this agricultural sector to industrial sector, means the wages would be more and they will be more benefited. Reduces the dependence of people on agriculture. Number third, this manufacturing industries reduces unemployment and poverty. As I already told you, that people in ancient times were more and more working in agricultural sector. The wages were very less. When industries were established, they have now the job opportunities in industrial sector. Now the unemployment is eradicated now, and the poverty is also reduced. In this way, another important points related to this industrial sector are, that is, mostly the industries were established in urban areas. That is urbanization. Urbanization and industrialization are related with each other. It has been observed that people who were working in rural areas, they migrated to the urban areas. That is why the urban cities were established, and side by side the industrial sector has set up. In this way, urban areas industrial were established. But there are some other areas which are lagging these industrial industrial sector, that is rural areas. They have not the industries. They have to go in urban areas to do job there. Now, it is another importance related to this point is decreases the regional disparities. It means that in rural areas, there are also the small scale industries where people can work there. They have no need to migrate from rural areas to urban areas. They have job opportunities in their own places. It is by the manufacturing industries, people which are in rural areas are benefited in their own local areas. Okay. Another most important importance, that is export of goods increases. Export of goods increases. It is the case of India, that India is exporting more and more things to the other countries, which is also falling in the concept of globalization. Globalization means the whole world becomes a small village and the whole markets in the world becomes a single market. People of India has not to go to the other countries to get the things. They are available in our market. This is the globalization. That is why any country which has more and more industries are developed. Means he is exporting and importing such things. Means there is the globalization concept. In this way, India has not that much sophisticated machinery. It cannot compete with the other markets because it has old type of machinery. It cannot compete with other parts of the world. In this way, agricultural sector and industrial sector are not closely to each other, but they go hand to hand. They help with each other. Likewise, that is agricultural sector is supported by the industrial sector, and industrial sector is as well supported by the agricultural sector. In this way, industries are providing new tools to agricultural sector. And agriculture as well. Agriculture also provides raw material to industries through which industry can run. Means industry can run at that time when it has its raw material. Its basic thing is raw material, which it will get it from the agricultural sector also, from the mining also. Agricultural sector is one option from which industries are getting things, through which industries are also benefited, and agricultural sector is also getting such new tools and techniques, biochemical fertilizers, pesticides, weedicides, and etc. And at that time they are helped and supported each other. In this way, another concept related to this chapter is contribution of industries to the national economy. That was importance which we have completed, and definition of manufacturing industries. Now, contribution of industrial sector to the national economy. Contribution of agricultural sector to the national economy. Contribution of industries to the national economy. National economy. We can say that from last 2 decades, 20 years, the GDP of this sector remains stagnant. Neither that has been increased nor it has been decreased. How much it was? That was 17%. 17%. From 2 decades, the GDP of industrial sector remained 17% out of 27%. And then there is the remaining of 10%. 10%. This 10% is considered as the profit of primary sector, which is supporting the industrial sector, that is mining and quarrying, electricity, gas. These are the things which are required for the industries through which they can run. It is the profit of 10% which industries are getting. This is a 10% profit, and this is the 17% GDP which industries have contributed. 10% of GDP. It is decadal growth. Decadal growth rate. About 2 decades. From 2 decades, the growth rate of India remained 17% out of 27%. This 10% is getting the profit of primary sector, particularly mining, quarrying, electricity and gas. In this way, this GDP of 2 decadal growth is less than the East Asian economies. East Asian economies. East Asian economies have the growth rate of this sector, that is 25% to 30%. 35%. It is more than India. India has only 27% GDP growth rate in industrial sector, and East Asian economies have 25 to 35%. When we see in last decade, what was the annual growth rate? Annual growth rate remained 7%. It was only 2003 when the growth rate raised up to 9 to 10%. It is because of the more export of goods which were exported to the other countries. Now in this way, it is 9 to 10% growth rate in 2003. Annual growth rate which remained, that is 7%. The required growth rate of industrial sector should be 12%. Required growth rate should be 12%. Now that was about the contribution of industrial sector to the national economy. Okay. Another concept related to this chapter is Industrial location. Industrial location. Industrial location refers to the where industry construction is possible and what are the factors which are very necessary for the establishment of the industries. In this way, there are particularly two factors. One is physical factor, and another is human factor, human factors. In physical factor, there should be the availability of land, water, favorable climate. Favorable climate. Favorable climate in the sense, there is one example, that is in Maharashtra, cotton is grown in black soil, which needs 210 frost-free days. Means temperature should not be goes down. In this way, temperature should be high, in which the cotton balls should be expanded, and they will expand, and more cotton will be obtained from the cotton plants. That is why when industry will be established in that area, cotton and textile industry, means climate should be favorable. It should not be the rainy place, more rain, and it should not be the cold climatic condition. It should be very favorable climate. Land should be feasible, and there should not be the landslides, and water availability is most important. Likewise, there are the human factors which are very necessary. First of all, labor, market, banking, financial advices, market, I have written here market, insurance. Now, these are some human factors which are very necessary. Capital, most important, capital. These are the human factors which are required for the establishment of industries. Now, industrial location should be very feasible. There are the places where industries are, most of the industries are established in a one place or cluster of industries. Such cluster is known as agglomeration. Economies. Agglomeration economies refers to those areas where cluster of industries are found and are more benefited in that place, is known as agglomeration economies. Now, in this way, there is another concept, that is industry market linkage. Industry market linkage. What is the relationship between industry and market? Industry market relationship. Now, first of all, what is the requirement for the industry? That is raw material. Raw material is the most important required thing through which industry can run. This raw material is transported to the industry by the transport facility should be there. This transport will facilitate it to the factory or industry. and factory will convert this raw material into valuable goods or finished goods. These ready goods or valuable goods are again transported through means of transport to the market. From market we obtain capital, we obtain money, and this money is again invested for buying this raw material. In this way, this cycle continues again and again, through which industry can run and become successful and is benefited. Now, there is classification of industries. Classification of industries. Industries have been classified on various bases. There are various bases through which industries have been classified. On the basis of source of raw material, number one. Number two, on the basis of role played. Number three, on the basis of capital. Number four, on the basis of ownership. And number five, last one, on the basis of weight of raw material. Now, first of all, on the basis of source of raw material, industries have been classified into two. Number one, agro-based industries, and number two is mineral-based industries. On the basis of role played, there are two types of industries: basic industry, basic or key industry, and number two is consumer industry. On the basis of capital, industries have been classified again into two: small scale industry, and second one is large scale industry. Fourth one is on the basis of ownership. Industries have been classified into four types. Number one is public sector industries, private sector industries, joint sector industries, and last one is cooperative sector industries. And last classification is on the basis of weight of raw material. That is classified into two types: light industries and heavy industries. heavy industries. Now listen. On the basis of source of raw material, industries have been classified into two: agro-based industries. These are such industries which obtain raw material from agriculture, like cotton, jute, sugarcane. These are the examples. Mineral-based industries are those industries from which they are obtaining raw material from minerals or mining, like iron ore, aluminium, aluminium, copper, manganese. These are the minerals which are obtaining from the minerals or earth's crust. Number two, on the basis of role played, industries have been classified into two: basic industry and consumer industry. Basic industries are those industries which simply convert raw material into a pure raw material, into a pure material. Likewise, iron ore is a raw material. When it is smelting or purified, pure iron we will get. That is basic industry. That is the role of the basic industry. It will provide us a pure material. This pure material is sent to the consumer industry. This consumer industry will convert it into the different goods or valuable goods. Likewise, basic industry, iron and steel industry is a basic industry. It will provide steel to the consumer industry. This consumer industry will manufacture different types of goods with this steel, which will be provided by the basic industry. Okay. On the basis of capital, small scale industry and large scale. Small scale industries are those industries in which investment is very low, that is less than 1 crore, less than 1 crore. Large scale industries are those industries in which investment is more than 1 crore. It is more than 1 crore. 1 crore. It is not only up to that. One difference is here. In small scale industry, labors are less, raw material used is less quantity, and output obviously would be less. Large scale industries are those industries in which investment is more than 1 crore and labors are more, raw material used there is more, and the output would be obviously more. These are the differences. These are some differences which will be helpful in your examinations. Okay. On the basis of ownership, that is public sector, are those industries which are managed by the government. One example is here: BHEL, Bharat Heavy Electrical Limited. Bharat Heavy Electrical Limited, one industry that is operated by government. SAIL, Steel Authority of India Limited. This is another industry which is managed by government. Private are those industries which are managed by a single or group of persons, that is TISCO, TISCO, Tata Iron Steel Company, Tata Iron Steel Company. Cooperative, joint are those industries which are managed by both public as well as private. One industry, one example here, it is OIL, Oil India Limited, Oil India Limited. This is one industry which is refinery, which is managed by both private as well as public. Cooperative sector industries are those industries which are managed by the landowners. Those people who have their own land and grow the crop and establish their own industry is the public sector. One example here, it is sugarcane industry, dairy farm are the two examples which are related to this cooperative sector industries. Now, on the basis of last, weight of raw material, there are two types of industries: light industries and heavy industries. Means these light industries use the light raw material, these heavy industries use heavy raw material. Heavy raw material is iron, light raw material is aluminum, cotton, electrical fan, sewing machine. These are related to the light industry because they are using light raw material. Heavy industry, iron and steel industry, that is using the iron mostly. It is the heavy industry. Now this was the classification of industries. Now we will move towards the industries according to this classification. First of all, we will discuss this one, agro-based industries. In agro-based industries, there we have to discuss three industries: cotton textile industry, jute textile industry, and sugarcane, which are known as textile industries. According to the classification, first is textile industries. Textile industries. Textile industries. In textile industries, mostly 14% industrial production is there. 14% industrial production. In these industries, mostly 35 million people were employed or engaged. 35 million people got job there. This textile industry has got contributed 24% GDP, foreign exchange, and there is 4% GDP, which is the annual income of this textile industry. This was the some points related to this textile industry. Now we will go one by one according to the classification. Number one is cotton textile industry. Number one, cotton textile industry. Cotton textile industry. Okay, cotton textile industry is that industry in which raw material is cotton. Mostly it is obtained from the black soil which is found in Maharashtra. In this way, the first industry, cotton textile industry, were established in Mumbai because it is in Maharashtra. Maharashtra has black soil. Black soil is also known as cotton black soil because cotton is grown there. We can say that in cotton textile industry, most of the people in ancient times in India were using this cotton to manufacture cloth with the help of hand, which was known as handloom. Handloom. Cloth which was made with the help of hand, which is handloom. Now, when it was the time or modern times, the time consuming process, it takes long time to make cloth, cotton cloth. Now, when it was modern time, industries were established and these cotton clothes were made now machines, which is known as power loom. Power loom. It was the figure was that in ancient times, most of the approximately it is more than 80%. Most of the clothes were made with the help of hand. Now it is now reverse. It is 84% cotton clothes are made with the help of machines now. In this way, it is totally reverse because it takes less time, it takes less number of people to operate such machines to make this cotton clothes. In this way, this cotton has to go in different processes in which it will become a cotton cloth. That is ginning. Ginning means to take cotton from the cotton balls. Second process is spinning to make thread from this cotton. Third is weaving. We will make cotton cloth from these yarn. In this way, it will go to the another industry, that is dyeing and designing. which help the other industries as well. Cotton textile industry supports the other industries because there is the requirement of the colors. Different colors or designs which are required for this industry. In this way, cotton textile industry needs the dyeing of these. It has the white color. It attains the different colors. It means that it helps the other industries, that is dye. In this way, this cotton cloth is now made, it is ready to the market and it is exported to the other countries. Now, mostly it has been observed that these industries are mostly concentrated in Maharashtra and Gujarat. For the spinning, remember, these industries which are used to spin or to make a thread from this cotton is concentrated in Maharashtra and Gujarat. But this yarn is supplied to the other states and they are using it for the weaving. But here is one problem for the cotton textile industry or in cotton textile industries in India, that India exports this yarn to the other countries, particularly Japan. Japan make cloth from this yarn and import this same cloth to India at the high rates. It is a problem that India has not sophisticated machinery. It will make this large number of clothes from this yarn which is grown in particularly Maharashtra. In this way, it is a big problem of India that India cannot made such a large number of these cloth with the help of its machines, because machines are not sophisticated. In this way, cotton textile first, as I already told you, that first cotton mill which was established in India in 1854. Okay. Now, cotton textiles are also as well exported to the other countries as they are made in India in these industries which are there older type of industries are exported to the UK, USA and other countries. In this way, the cotton textile industries as well has contributed the 4% GDP. That was about the cotton textile industry. Now it is second one related to this textile industry, that is jute industry. Jute industry. This was the first one. Second one, jute textile industry. As I already told you that cotton textiles are mostly concentrated in the Maharashtra and Gujarat. Mostly this jute is grown in West Bengal. When it was partitioned, more land was shared to Bangladesh and less land was shared to India. Most industries were shared by India and less industries were shared by Bangladesh. In this way, we have the less land. That is why we are growing this jute in West Bengal. India is as well largest producer of jute in India, but it is second exporter because it has the huge population and it has to these jute goods are consumed or used by the population. That is why it is the second exporter. A large producer of jute goods, but second exporter. Because most of the goods, jute goods are used by people of India. You know, jute goods like mattings, ropes, bags are used. In this way, in modern times, jute bags are used less because it has been more and more polythene bags are preferred because it is lightweight. But that is very harmful for our environment. It is non-biodegradable waste. When it is thrown into the land, that is not decomposed. In this way, we should use these jute bags. First jute mill was established in Kolkata. There is one area which is known as Rishra. First jute mill which was established there. Mostly these jute mills are established on the bank of a river which is known as River Hooghly. On the bank of this river, jute mills have been established. In this way, jute industry has also some problems which are facing, that it has not challenges which are faced by the jute mill is that most of the people are using such polythene bags, and it is not preferred. Jute bags are not preferred. It is that is why stiff competition with other markets. In this way, synthetic fibers are mostly used. These are some problems, and India has not such sophisticated machinery that it can use a good quality of jute. In this way, that is why these are some problems which are faced by the jute mill. And some most important points through which jute mill can be established, as I already told you, availability should be there. Means availability of raw material should be there. There should be available market. There should be cheap labor, which will be available in West Bengal. Cheap labor from West Bengal. These are some points which you have to remember in jute mill. Okay. Now the last industry in textile industry, that is sugar industry. Sugar industry. Third one. Sugar industry. As I already told you in classification, the sugar industry is mostly operated by cooperative sector. In classification, I have already told you. In this way, sugar industry, it is seasonal. It is seasonal industry. Why it is seasonal industry? Can you tell me why it is seasonal industry? Because raw material, which is sugar cane, is not grown throughout year. Sugar cane is not grown throughout year. That is why it is seasonal. It is operated by cooperative sector. It is weight losing industry. If we will weigh 1 ton of sugar in industry, when it would be exported to the or sent to the market, it will not be 1 ton, because bags through which sugar is loose, and due to high temperature it is melted. That is why market should be very near, through which it will be protected. In this way, weight losing industry. One most important thing in sugar industry which you have to remember is that there should be high temperature, in which the crushing time should be very long. In this way, such sugar industries were transported to the South India. There is high temperature, particularly Maharashtra. Industries were established there because there is long crushing time. It will get long crushing time. That is one point. Second is, due to high temperature, sugar cane produced there has high sucrose level. Means that has more sugar, more taste, more sucrose level. That was about textile industry. Now another mineral based industry. There are the various industry which we have to discuss. Now we will discuss mineral based industries. Okay, mineral based industries. In mineral based industries, there are various industries. Number one, iron and steel industry. Iron and steel industry actually is a basic industry. You know what is basic industry and consumer industry. Basic industry provides the pure material to the consumer industry, and consumer industry convert it into available products. Now iron and steel industry is a basic industry. Basic industry. It provides steel to consumer industries. Consumer industries. In this way, that is why we refer it as a this basic industry. That is why it provides pure steel to the consumer industries. In this way, iron and steel industry is a heavy industry because its raw material is heavy. Okay, its raw material is heavy. It is a heavy industry. We can say that this iron and steel industry is a heavy industry. The per capita consumption of steel in India is per capita consumption of steel in India is 49 kgs. It means that every person per year is using 49 kgs of steel. In world's average, it is 182 kgs. In this way, there are the various factors through which this iron and steel industry has been successful because of high grade of raw material, low cost. There should be the market which should be very near to the home market. Industry should be very near to the home market. In this way, there are various problems faced by this industry, that is the erratic power supply. Power supply is not regular. There is poor infrastructure. Industries are not that much new, and sophisticated machinery is not found. In this way, this was about the iron and steel industry. Now, second mineral-based industry is aluminium smelting. Mineral-based industry is aluminium industry. Aluminium industry. The ore of aluminium is bauxite. Okay. It is light industry. It is light industry because the raw material is light. It is resistance. It has resistance to corrosion because it is not affected by the rust, corrosion. It is malleable and ductile. And aluminum is good conductor of electricity. It is good conductor of electricity, because it has much more importance. It is used in the electricity transmission lines. It is sometimes used for the manufacturing of the utensils and aircrafts. We can say that aluminium is that metal. It is used as a substitute when there is not the availability of steel and copper. It is mostly used for the construction purposes as well, for the windows and doors in buildings. Okay, in India there are 8 smelting plants of this aluminium. Next is chemical industry. In chemical industry, particularly 2 sectors are found. Chemical industry. In chemical industry, particularly 2 sectors are found. One sector is inorganic sector, and another is organic sector. These are 2 sectors from which we get the different materials, like inorganic sulfuric acid, nitric acid, caustic soda. In organic sector, we obtain particularly petrochemicals, because there is more need of chemicals in present day life. This industry has much more demand, because basic chemicals are added to the another chemicals, and new chemicals are formed. These particularly inorganic substances, or inorganic sector is providing these things and manufacture different kinds of valuable goods, that is fertilizers, pesticides, etc. These petrochemical industries also use in different industries, particularly for the manufacturing of as well fertilizers. This way, inorganic and organic sectors, these are the 2 sectors in chemical industry, in order to manufacture different kinds of things like plastic, fertilizers, pesticides, weedicides, and other chemicals, which is more helpful in present day life. In this way, there is another industry, that is fertilizer industry. Fertilizer industry particularly has much more demand in today's world, because fertilizers are used for the agricultural purposes, because its demand increases after Green Revolution, because there was more and more need of fertilizers in India. In Punjab, Haryana particularly, there was more demand of these fertilizers in order to get the much more production. It's very simple. Fertilizer industry particularly provides us different kinds of things, like nitrogenous fertilizers, urea, and potassium, and phosphoric fertilizers. Now there is one more important thing, that is complex fertilizer. Complex fertilizer means when there is the combination of 2 or more than fertilizer, that is NPK. N stands for nitrogen, P stands for phosphorus, and K stands for potash. These are the 3 fertilizers. When they are combined, they become complex fertilizers. In this way, fertilizers in India have much more important is because it is used for the agricultural purposes in order to get the much more production from the land. In this way, another is automobile industry. Automobile industry is also a growing industry because lifelines of the nation depends on it. Transport is most important. In ancient times, the concept of transport was not there because people were traveling from one place to another place by foot. This is the industry which has grown up to 15 years. Automobile industry. Automobile industry. This industry provides two-wheelers, three-wheelers, and big vehicles like trucks and buses. In this way, it has the life now more comfortable due to this automobile industry because it has provided us new and complementary models. New and complementary models. India has invested in foreign countries in order to make the new and complementary these new models. Likewise, Maruti Suzuki. This is the alliance of the two companies, Maruti and Suzuki. Suzuki is the international from, perhaps it is from Japan, and Maruti is from India. In this way, this is the industry which has grown up, as I already told you, within 15 years because of more demand of vehicles. More demand of vehicles. More demand of vehicles. In this way, this is the industry which has grown up 15 years because everybody needs the vehicle in order to make their life very comfortable. In this way, another, that is the last industry, that is information technology and electronic industry. Information technology and electronic industry. You know, information technology, which has provided us the better communication between different parts of the world, among the different countries of the world. This electronic industry especially has provided the hardware. This information technology has provided the software, which is most important in order to communicate different people in the world. In this way, can you tell me what is the electronic capital of which one in India? Which city is the electronic capital of India? That is Bangalore. Bangalore is the electronic capital of India because most of the electronic goods are manufactured there. There are 46 software technological parks in India. In this way, in 2011, it has been estimated that 1 million people have got job in this industry. It has been estimated that after 3 to 4 years, it will become 8-fold. 1 million people were employed by this industry. It has been estimated that it will become after 3 to 4 years, it will become 8-fold. 8-fold means it would be it is 2011, it would be 2015 when it will become 8 million. Okay. This is the industry which provides us the smallest thing, that is transistors up to televisions, telephones, computers, etc., and radios. In this way, the life has also become very comfortable that different kinds of things are available in our market, that is in India, due to this information technology, because life has become much more comfortable due to the transport, due to the communication. But that was possible due to this electronic industry and information technology. Now, it has been estimated that, as I already told you, 1 million people have been employed by this industry. From this 1 million, 30% is that industry which has given the employment to 30% of females. Females have got 30% job in this industry, that is information and technology. Now, the last topic of this chapter is industrial pollution and environmental degradation. Industrial pollution, industrial pollution, industrial pollution and environmental degradation. And its measures, and its preventive measures. You know, from the earlier classes, what are the different kinds of pollutions? There is air pollution, there is water pollution, there is soil pollution, there is land pollution, there is thermal pollution, and there is noise pollution. Now, first of all, that is air pollution. Particularly, we are discussing the industrial pollution. It is degraded by the industries because there is smoke, there is carbon dioxide, there is CFCs, chlorofluorocarbons, there is sulfur dioxide, there are other gases, or dust is there, which comes from the cement industry, also which is suspending in the atmosphere and creating the pollution in the atmosphere. Now, its effects are that there is the respiratory problem due to this greenhouse gases. These are known as greenhouse gases. Respiratory problem, global warming, these are the effects from this. Second is water pollution. Water pollution is water becomes polluted when these chemicals are thrown into the water bodies, and it is sewage. And this is polluted water which is mixed with the chemicals, and it is thrown into these river or water bodies, and it is polluted. In this way, we should not throw these sewage or other pollutants into this water. First of all, they should be treated properly. Another is thermal pollution. Thermal pollution is also related to the water pollution because it is hot water. Thermal means heat. It is this heat, or this is hot water which is mixed with chemicals, and it is thrown into the water bodies. And what would be the effect? Marine life or aquatic life would be influenced. Now, another, that is last, noise pollution. Number 4, noise pollution. These are the unwanted sounds from the industries, which are unbearable sounds. In this way, these unbearable sounds results the various effects, that is the people which are very near to these industries, there is coming those sounds which cannot be bearable. Okay, there is the noise which increases uh, the stress, and the noise causes irritation, anger, hearing loss, cause stress, as I already told you, and these are all the sources from which these are the sources from which these pollutions or unwanted sounds come. What are the preventive measures of these all pollutions, particularly water pollution? Now these are prevented by three ways, that is physical, chemical and biological methods. Physically, we can treat this water by two methods, that is sedimentation and flocculation. There is the sand and there are other chemicals which are in the water which has been polluted by these pollutants. First of all, they should be settled down, these sediments, and the upper water will be separated. In this way, there are other methods to use the any cloth which is used to allow water within this cloth, and these pollutants will be taken by this cloth. These are the pollutants which will be taken by this cloth, and water will be taken out from this. This is the physical, and chemical is chlorination. We can use some chemicals in the water, somewhat it would be purified, or that is chlorination. And biologically, when there would be the biodegradable wastes, there are some bacteria we can decompose such biodegradable wastes. This is a biological method through which we can prevent such pollutants like sewage, which is these wastes thrown into the water bodies. Likewise, if it would be biodegradable waste, they can be decomposed. Okay, thank you very much. This was the chapter manufacturing industries. I'm sure you have understood each and everything. Thank you. God bless you.